great philosopher once said, I will always love you, but I will never expect you to love me because you don't love yourself. Thank you, Beyonce.
Thank you, Beyonce.
It's been an interesting week. We came back from Atlanta, and that kind of I don't know about you, but my week was like off the rest of the week.
It just went fast. I knew it was going to, but I'm tired.
Yeah. you yeah, you've had a really, like, you've been grinding this week in a way that
I've been grinding for the past 2 months.
No, it's been a lot, and it's to be honest, I've been a little concerned, but it's okay. We can discuss that off tape.
We made it to December. I got a week to recuperate, and then I'm coming back, and I'm getting literally right back to the grind. I come back on the 9th, and I'll be deep cleaning. I got deep cleaning on the 10th. And that's going to be, shoot, I'm going to have to hire some people to help me. You want to make some money?
So I'm going to be spending a week without you?
Why you got? Yes.
Okay.
Well, because technically I'm leaving tonight. So I'm driving tonight, and then I'll be gone until I fly back next Saturday. But then I have to drive back. So
Nike and I will be all right. We'll be okay.
I'm going to preface it. Is it preface or preface? Preface, right?
It's preface, yeah.
Preface this and say that this fam trip, Joy could have came on, but Joy
I could not have come. I could not have come, but it's okay. This is...
No, I'm saying as far as like, this was a fam trip that I was able to bring someone on.
Okay, so yes, there was the ability for you to bring someone. You did offer me, but we made the decision in the corporate world. We made the decision. So for those of you that are listeners out there, you know that me and Joy are polar opposites, literally complete polar opposites. I am one that I'm not really a heavy like partier. I don't party really anymore, but I like to be outside in the sense of travel, trips, daytime, brunch activities. I'm totally different. Joy likes to be in the house and watch good movies and documentaries and do music, and we balance each other out, but we're complete opposites. So we had decided at the top of this year that we were going to go on a trip for Christmas. Okay, we had been decided that, right?
And the trip was going to be something else at first, but then we decided to. I decided to like plan something that would be a little bit more cost efficient. But I think that's more so the reason why, because we already have a trip planned together this month. If you would have went on the fam trip with me, you would have been gone all month, and that in the corporate world is not normal. So that I will hear. But if you were someone who did like to go and get up and do things, with the type of job you have, you could do it. Okay, for sure.
It's a little too much moving around. I mean,
it's a lot of moving around.
It's a lot of moving around for me. That is a fact. Mm-hmm. But also, I think I didn't realize, because this is my first year with this job. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how like in December is when a lot of business is getting wrapped up, so that as we go into the new year. And so December is kind of full of a lot of meetings that are just centered on like, okay guys, like we're winding down, like here's what we're trying to do next year. Like I think not next week, but the week after next, I'm going to be in the office for 3 days, which for me is like I'm literally like preparing my brain for this. Right. And 2 of those days are like 12, pretty much not 12-hour days, but like a regular work day, and then like a party from 5 to 8 or 5 to 9. And of course they're not making anybody stay, but in the corporate world it's kind of like,
so yeah, you wouldn't have been able to, in that case there's things that were planned. So I get it. I mean, it's fine. So I'm not saying it like that. I'm just, I'm a travel agent and I'm building my travel agency and I'm getting these experiences so that I can continue to sell travel. And it's working. Like I go and I do these fam trips and I have booked trips for people that I've never met in my life, you know?
No, one thing I will say is that your travel business has grown exponentially in a very short amount of time. And I think that that's, you know, I think that's a really great thing. The revenge travel vibes are real. People are trying to, especially after the pandemic, they want to spend more time with their family. They want to, they realize that life is short. Everybody's trying to get out. So I will say this, I'm very proud of you and your work with the travel business. And I think that we came to a agreement, or not an agreement, I'll say I came to an understanding. Like, I'm gonna say this was probably 2 years ago, where we were kind of disagreeing about like your just like traveling a lot. And then I think there was a part in our conversation where you were like, but this is my personality though. And I was like, oh, like, I guess I didn't understand that it was like a part of who you are. And I can't be, and we've discussed this, like, and we, you know, what's crazy is we used to discuss this when we first, started dating, that it is like not fair in relationships when people like get upset with people about who they are. Like, it's like, you can't be upset with me because I want to sit in the house. That's who I am. I can't change that. So I can't be upset that you're the type of person who travels. So we've had that like understanding for a little while.
But also like maturity for me is also like realizing that, you know, we are a team and I do have a partner, and it's not just, you know, get up and go. Like, there needs to be planning and there needs to be a conversation. And, you know, I think 2 years ago, I was still very, I was 28. I was just getting to a place where, you know, business was allowing me to just do the things that I just wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So I had to mature in that space too. Cause a couple months ago, I looked at you. I'm just like, I realized how fucked up it is, you know, to not spend time, like to feel like, okay, well, because I don't want to go, I can't spend time with my wife for the holidays because she wants to go. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to apologize to you for that, because I wasn't thinking about it from that aspect. And now it's more so like we're starting to plan things that we both like to do. And that's what's making me happy. Like, we're, you know, gonna go for your birthday and get these expensive ass tickets to go see the Warriors and the Lakers play one another. And we're going to go to Disney World for Christmas and go on a little short cruise and spend spend New Year's in Miami for the new year. And then we'll see what next year brings us after that. But I'm to a place now where it's like, okay, I saw a meme the other day that said, my man is my best friend. And, you know, I'll kick it with my man before I kick it with anybody. Like, that's how I feel. Like, we're best friends. So for me, it's like, I want to do what we want to do. Like, that's what it is for me. Because I could get a drink and have a time anywhere. You know, I can find a place to, you know, have my time anywhere. But, you know. Yeah,
I realize that I have to be more, you know, you mature. I mean, I think, you know, I've been married twice. This is my second marriage. And this is your first. And we have an age gap. So I think I've had to, in my maturity, go like, oh, like, this is a person who like regardless of what you and I saw of marriage from our families, because both of us, that's a, you know, another thing, that both of us come from families where, you know, both of our parents are still married. So we have level of example of what it's like to have like a stable relationship.
We still have to experience it for ourselves.
We still have to experience it for ourselves. And I, you know, what I love about it, and when you said it to me, I got emotional because I was like, cause it did hurt me, but I love that it never was held against you. Like it's like that. I think I realized, I was like, damn, I'm really in love with this girl, because it's like, even though you were coming to a realization of like, oh, this is something I could have done better, or this is whatever, it didn't, like, it almost hurt more that you were apologizing because I was like, oh my God, it acknowledges this kind of like feeling I felt, but I never was like holding it against you or having a grudge or it being toxic. Like
it was literally just a realization.
Yeah,
and that's healthy. Healthy
so
community.
healthy.
Like I realize time and time again when we have, just different times where we both like communicate in those ways and we have realizations of how we could have done something better. I realize like we have a really healthy existence.
Yeah, we do.
Like that's just what
I was gonna say is what I've learned in my maturity is like I just have to be sweet. Like
you have to be what?
I have to be sweeter. I'm not. My workload over the past, I'm gonna say 8 months, 9 months, and everything that I've been trying to like accomplish has made me like I'm not soft and I'm not sweet with you and I'm not, which of course people are going to listen to this show and go like, what do you mean? You guys seem like you have, and we do. We are we're friends. We kick it. We have a good, but like there's a like sweetness. You reminded me that there was like a whole year and a half or 2 years when we first got together. You just reminded me of like how I was with you, and I'm not like that anymore. And I feel like sometimes that, when we're talking about these decisions of travel and things like that, that comes into play where it's like, if it was the first 2 years, we were together, I would move heaven and earth, to like try to figure it out. And now I'm just like, it's not happening, honey. Like, with a straight face, I'm like, it's just not. And you're like, okay. And it's like, I realize on my end, I'm like, all right, let's, it's time to come a little bit more over to the sweeter side because you're my wife, you're my honey, I love you. I'm attracted to you. Your ass is fat. I need to, I need to be, because I could feel those feelings inside, but not, express them to you in my actions. And it's like, sometimes I just need to be more sweet. I need to be sweeter to you and soft. Mm-hmm. So we both, we both have our things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well,
that was good.
We didn't know we were going to start the episode with couples therapy, but here we are. My name is Joy Daniels. I'm your host with the most.
And I'm Chelsea Daniels.
And this is Elevate the Conversation. We're going to do a little bit of a different episode today because for me, the past 2 episodes have been hard. The past 3 episodes have been hard. We've been talking about themes of domestic violence, SA, rape, things that are not easy to discuss, and things that are possibly triggering for some of our listeners and for us, things that we've been through. I think we still have to talk about it because I do think conversation is how we heal. Mm-hmm. But, I feel the world is needing what the world needs now. Mm-hmm. Is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. But for real, like, I feel like my timeline, the past, I'm going to say month, especially since the conflict between Israel and Palestine, has been nothing but just disgusting things. Same with I've gotten a little bit more on TikTok because of my music stuff that I'm doing, and like every timeline I have is just like really negative stuff. And I just remember sitting on my couch one evening. I'm not sure where you were. I think you might have been out of town, waiting for midnight so that I could listen to Renaissance with the rest of the world. I don't know where you were. It was 2021?
No, it was 2022. She released that in July.
Yep. July. So I was still working for Icy Stars. I was home by myself.
It was the top of July. I might have just been out.
You might have been out.
It was July. It was my birthday month. But I wasn't gone, though.
You weren't gone. Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember waiting on my couch. I had heard that the album had leaked. And I was in a space of like just waiting with everybody else. And literally like there was an anticipation online and everybody was talking about it, like it leaked, but don't listen to it, wait till she drops it. And I remember it coming out and sitting there on Apple Music with my in-ear monitors. I wanted to listen really well, so I didn't go regular headphones, I went in-ear monitors so I could listen through the whole album.
Yeah, and then you told me.
And then I texted you and I was like, honey.
Yeah, I took maybe like, that's the only person I didn't, I normally take like weeks before I listen. I want to say maybe like a week or two.
Yeah. You weren't, normally it takes you a minute, but you were on it.
Oh, actually, I think I did wait. I
How
want to
long?
say by the time we went to Cancun for Jessica's birthday, I had listened and I was.
Okay. Oh, you were like in it.
Yeah. So I want to say probably August is when I like probably listened, and I was like, oh, I haven't stopped listening to that damn album.
Yeah, I mean, it had me in a chokehold for a year. And as a DJ, most of Renaissance remains on my, when I DJ a party, I might play 8 Beyonce songs. And it's funny because somebody mentioned that to me. Somebody was like, yeah, you were playing this song and then it turned to Beyonce. It's like, yeah, I'm going to play 8 or 9 Beyonce songs every DJ said I do. Anyways, so the connection I'm trying to make is Beyonce, she said it in the movie that Renaissance turned into a culture.
It was a movement.
It's a movement. Yeah. Renaissance turned into, as she said in the movie, a culture, a movement. It's not just music that she put out and we're like, oh, we love the music. No, Renaissance is a lifestyle, right? So we went to go see the movie this Thursday, and so we're going to do something different today. Normally, and I really I'm going to talk about the things that I like and talk about, the things that I saw that were positive this week and that made an impression on me. And then we move to one nuance at a time and we kind of tackle the hard issues and talk about the nuance and kind of get to some level of resolution. But when I saw Renaissance at this time in my life, during this space of our lives as a couple, there were a lot of discoveries and revelations that I extracted that I am kind of synthesizing from my personal life. And it's like, it has nothing to do with, it literally is almost separate from Beyonce. I was thinking about this and I was like, what I feel is maybe a little sad and what makes me a little emotional is that people will, when we talk about these things, people will minimize it to, oh, y'all just love Beyonce, you're just fans, but there's something profound. And this is what good art and good movements and positive things do. They help you reflect on your own situation and inspire you and motivate you to do whatever it is you need to get to the next step or whatever. And I'm looking at the comments because, of course, social media always goes crazy. There's, I'm seeing so many, people in the movie theaters almost reliving what we went through when we went and saw the concert live. I'm seeing so many videos of people in the theater, so on and so forth. And I saw a few people in the comments say, yeah, she taught me, Beyonce taught me that, you need to work hard. And but like people are, so that's, I know that it's not just us feeling this, that you went to the movie and you walked away with yo, this is what I need to do in my own life. And so I said, I want to mix all 3 of our segments, which is I really like one nuance at a time and soft spaces, because this is going to be an interweaving conversation. I'm just full warning for everybody. An interweaving conversation of 3 things. 1, our undying love for Queen Beyonce, mother of the House of Renaissance. 2, our what we took away from not just the movie, but the Renaissance movement and the cultural shift that she brought. And then 3, I think I want to discuss some of the themes that came out in the movie that really resonated with me and that I just love to see. So I think a really good place to start is just a quick recap of our Renaissance experience, if you'd like to give that. So give a quick recap of...
Quick recap. So,
because you coordinated it all. I just showed up.
Yes. So back in February,
yes,
my mother sends an email or a text and says, Beyonce's going on tour. Do y'all want to go? And we were like, heck yeah. And she was like, okay, you, Joy, Monty, and me will go to see Beyonce, and it'll be birthday presents for all of you for the year. And we're like, okay.
All right, yeah.
So there's a whole process we have to go through in the beginning, which now we know that we're not going to do that the next time.
We're just going to wait.
We're just going to wait because we'll be able to just get tickets. We just got to pay for them. But anyways, so all of us had duties. We had to all register for different cities. Mm-hmm. We all signed up for different cities. The only person that got a response was my mom for Atlanta. Okay. That in the beginning, because I think later on, months later, we started to get responses for different cities. But my mom was the only one. So we got a response for Atlanta. I want to say in April or March, we were able to get into the queue and get the tickets. They went on sale. And we were up in the 400 level in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in Atlanta. So we made a whole weekend of it. That was 2 weeks after my 30th birthday. We went down there. We had a great time. But the Atlanta experience was just it was an amazing cultural experience. But we got to experience it, but we were up high in the rafters. The sound was not the best. Like, there were certain things that for me and Joy specifically, we're like, okay, we need to do this again. So we go on to Ticketmaster.
Hey, hold on. If you want to listen to our takeaway from the concert and all that, because we're not going to go over that.
Yeah.
But if you want to go over our experience of Renaissance, we do have an episode where we're in Atlanta and we talk about literally everything we loved about the show and everything. So go back a few episodes. I think it might be episode, I don't know,
like
10 or something like that. Go back to the episodes. You can listen to that.
So that was beginning of August. And then we go on and we see that she's going to be in Las Vegas at the new Allegiant Stadium. Because we're like, okay, where can we go? At that point, she still had a lot left. I think she was halfway done in August. She still had a lot left. So there were so many options. We could have went to Houston. We could have went to LA. We had options. Oh, New Orleans. But we wanted floor seats. And we're like, okay, we want floor seats. I mean, if it was up to me and we had the money, we would have like had Club Renaissance or been like on the stage. Yeah. But nobody had cheap Club Renaissance. All of that was just resale, $1,000 plus per ticket. But we did come across decent floor seats in Las Vegas the second day at the Allegiant Stadium. So we got those. And then we took a cheap trip, stayed at our timeshare, took a cheap trip to Vegas to see her again. Okay. So we got to see her twice. Once in the 400 level, once from the floor. Both had different nuances to the experience, but both were equally as amazing. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then we fast forward to, we said when we saw her in Atlanta that she was going to release. We're like,
yeah, it's because there was cameras on stage, and I was like, we're not seeing the footage from that feed, so they must be recording this for a movie.
And sure enough, that was literally the footage that we were seeing in the movie. So we were not going to see the movie right away at first. But then we decided, I was like, I want to see it. We want to talk about it on the podcast before I leave. And I didn't want you to go see it while I was gone because I knew you would have. So I'm like, let's go see it together. So we went to go see it for the premiere. And we didn't get dressed up or anything because we did that twice. But there was definitely people that were dressed up. And it was, Coach, like the guy at the counter was like, I can almost imagine what movie you guys are here to see. Why? Because we niggas. But anyway, the movie, it was about almost 3 hours long. It literally is a concert experience mixed with the same nuances that we got from Homecoming of the behind the scenes and just the realness of Beyonce and her daily life. But now she's a mother of 3 kids who are all walking, talking, living, breathing people who have needs, who talk, who say, who...
Yeah, she said the kids don't care what you do. You're still their mother.
Right. So, and we got a chance to see that. And, I would say I realized in seeing that movie how blessed we are as a family to have been able to see her, not once, but twice. And to actually have that feeling And there was a couple other girls I heard in the movie theater who also were like, yeah, they were there. They're at different places, and it's just. I'm just really happy that we got to experience
Me
it.
too.
You know,
me too. I when I was in the theater, I definitely felt that way. I was like, I feel blessed.
Yeah.
Like, cause I could remember some of the outfits from when we went to go see her. So just a few things I want to extract from the movie that like warmed my heart that are not what everybody else is talking about. Because everybody's talking about her interaction with Blue and how she was like, baby, like, you know, her being a mom and being a black mama at that. We all know, you know, there's a few parts of the movie that are now on social media that people are literally like taking videos and sharing. But there's a couple things that stood out that I haven't seen anybody share yet. Number one is how affectionate and loving of a father Jay-Z is.
Yeah.
There's so much footage of him just cuddled up with the kids. Yeah. There's footage of him just cuddling with Blue. They're in a meeting, and I don't even know if they have any part in the meeting, but him and Blue are just on the couch, you know, just... you know, cuddled up while, you know, mom is working, Beyonce's working. And I just love seeing him, such a hip hop mogul, such somebody that we all, you know, as far as his skill and agility as a rapper and a lyricist and a businessman, he is like the pinnacle of hip hop. And to see him in this soft, you know, just fatherly role of being affectionate with his daughter and having, you know, honestly, it's like an anti-hard rapper type of vibe. Like he just looks like a strong husband. He's clapping for his wife. I don't think he spoke in the documentary at all. Like there's a couple moments where he speaks, but none of it is like him being interviewed.
No, he wasn't interviewed.
And I just love seeing him in from a masculinity standpoint. I just love seeing him in that role of support for his wife, but strong presence.
But you know what though? I don't mean to cut you off, but I've always viewed Jay's, like his artistry has always made me view him as a stand-up, like a real nigga, not a hood nigga, not as obviously
vibes.
Yeah, like, you know, there's a difference, but I've always, you know, because he's kind of before my time, but it's like I guess the birth of Jay-Z is kind of before my time, but I'm a music fan, so I'm hip, and I've always it made sense to me. I'll say this: it made sense to me when they announced that they were together. Like it made sense because I've always viewed him as a stand-up guy, real nigga, you know, that's a whatever. But, and I've always viewed Beyonce as this, you know, force of nature, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's their relationship has always made a lot of sense to me.
Me too.
Because of the way that they both are in terms of like meticulous and, you know,
it's like destined to be. You put them in a room together. It's like it was destined to be that. You sit somebody down, two incredibly smart people. They
probably have great conversations. They probably have so much to talk about.
When he was interviewing her on the movie, at the end, that was him that was recording her, and you can tell they're friends. Like they be kicking it.
And you know what? Let me say this. I think that Beyonce is very specific and meticulous in what she shows us. And I think she chooses certain intimate moments to show us like that, for us to show us like this relationship is not like that one, baby. Like,
right.
There are times when there's been a couple times, I'm not going to mention who the couples are, where the interactions that they've had either in public or footage they're showing us on their Instagram page makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah. And it's because of the tone of the way they're discussing something with each other. It's because of it's just the way in which it's just the tone. And I know you and I both know a certain tone in a couple where you're like, oh, like this is not. And it's like with them, I think she exposes us to these like extremely intimate moments for her to let you know, like, yeah, whatever we show you in the front, it may be stuff going on in the back, but we respect it. Like at the end of the day, we respect each other. And you can tell, they have
they're friends.
They're friends.
And then he was like talking, it just was so cute. He was talking about her when she was, they were talking about Blue being on stage.
Her face couldn't hold the
your
smile.
mama couldn't even contain it. But that, like us being there, I saw that because I remember both times I was like, look how happy, like she's so happy. Even like I think by the time we saw Blue in Atlanta, she had came a long way already. And even more so by the time we saw her in Vegas. But by the end of the show, by the time she was in Houston,
it was a different thing.
And it was like
the fact that she saw the negative comments, this is something that's being widely talked about. She saw y'all grown adults talking bad about her.
Yeah, and it was her friend. That's her friend.
She didn't see it. So she's not allowed. She's probably not allowed.
And Beyonce said, like, I was upset she saw it, but that's the world we live in. And this is why, like, I just have the standpoint of these people are real people. Like, they're real.
They're human beings.
Literally. Like, they're human beings who have emotions and feelings. And when you guys say stuff online about people, like, even like this stuff that's going on with the stuff we've been talking about, like,
we're not going to say it on this show, but
yeah, I haven't shared anything about that, you know, on my social media, because it's like, even though he's going through what he's going through, he's still a person, and somebody is reading that stuff, and it's like, I know how I would feel if somebody, you know. So it's just, when she said that, she was like, I was upset that it got to her, but it's like, that's life. Like, her friends showed her that what people were saying, and y'all was being so nasty, and it was a lot of y'all, like, a lot of people were talking about her.
Yeah, people were being nasty, but and I think that, I remember saying to you, like, oh, when I start doing music super publicly, I want somebody who moderates the comments, because sometimes people are saying things that are not like nasty. They're just saying things that are like true.
Right.
And they're not saying it in a nasty way. And if you put things out in the public, like, they're allowed to react, right? But like, some of what I saw about Blue and have seen about Blue for years and years and years has been disgusting. They talked about the little girl's hair. People have said a lot of really disgusting and nasty things about Blue over the years. And I just think that as her mother, I think Beyonce said it. She was like, when I saw her about to come up from you know, she comes from, you know, beneath the stage. She's like, I saw her, and she's like, I instantly
almost threw it. Did she say she almost threw up?
She was like, I was nervous for myself. I'm nervous for my child, and I instantly regret it. She's like, I looked at her face and instantly regretted letting her do this.
Why did I let her do this? Because it was supposed to be a one-time thing, and that's, you know, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So moving forward, you know, the last thing I'll say is, I have said from the beginning, I'm like, Beyonce is an incredible creative director. She's not just a singer. She's not just a songwriter. She's not just a producer. She is a creative director. And you can tell that, and every one of her staff said it, she's the boss. She is the one who is creatively putting all of this together. And that is such a mental, wow, like, what a heavy lift, right, to be that creative. But I respect her. I'm so glad she put this movie out, because she wants people to see. I'm not just up here dancing and singing.
Right.
All of this whole world, I have constructed all of this, and y'all are just now witnessing kind of my genius and my greatness. And I mean, when you have endless creativity like that, the sky's the limit for you. And that's why she's able to still be on the Billboard charts at 42 years old. For a lot of people, their time ends in the white hot space. Hers has not, because she keeps allowing her mind. She doesn't put restrictions on her creativity in her mind. She lets it flow to places where I think some people will be afraid to. And that's what Fatima was saying on the movie. She was like, not everybody can go to the places she's going.
Who?
Fatima Robinson, who is the director of choreography for the whole thing, she said that. She was like, the way Beyonce, her creativity kind of knows no bounds. Not everybody can do that. It's hard for certain people to allow their mind to go to those spaces. And I'm thinking of her, like, you know, when people are like, she's like, I want a wider lens, and they're like, and she's like, there is a wider lens exists. Like, she lets her mind go to, like, everything you're saying, oh, we don't need to, no. I want your mind to expand, and I imagine working with her, you expand your mind as well. But this is the last thing I'm gonna say before you go, honey. This is what brought me into this, like, self-reflection. This is where we're gonna get into somewhat of a soft spaces. What brought me into the self-reflection part was the whole segment where she talked about she's Beyonce, but because she's a black woman, people still challenge her and don't do what she asks. And basically she said at a certain point they realized this bitch is not going to give up.
Yeah.
And it's like she said it's a battle of will.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I resonate with that so much because, like, you can always, like, flex your power and, like, you can always do that, but it doesn't benefit you. So you have to learn as a Black woman, especially, you know, like, I'm thinking about, like, the situation I'm in this morning. You know, like, I can always, like, you know, have a loud bark. But what is that going to do besides have them basically confirming the stereotypes they have of me anyway? You get what I'm saying? So I can imagine for Beyonce, it's like, you don't want to be, you know your power, you know how you can flex that power, but you don't want to aid and abet the stereotypes they have for working with Black women anyway. You don't want that. So what do? You outsmart them. You know, make them realize how much work they still need to put in, because they're not matching the level of work you're putting in. Like, she does it in a very intellectual way, and that's why I appreciate it.
Wow, you said a mouthful that I'm really taking in. There was recently a study done about CEOs and how they perform. And the group that's the highest level performing at CEO is Black women.
Of course. And
I realize it's because you have to, from what you're discussing, you have to figure out different ways to communicate so that you don't, you know, become the stereotype, but also you just have to be so sharp. You have to be so sharp that it's like you figure out, you know, ways. You just have to work so hard to communicate what you want that you're like good at it. For me, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. For me,
I got a lot.
so there's this glass half empty, glass half full concept, right? And it's like, you can either look at things as positive or negative, you know, the things that happen in your life. And I left that movie reevaluating the way I look at the work that I'm doing right now. Because by her exposing that the millions of dollars she's made, the track record, because this is what they say in the corporate world, right? In the corporate world, when they're trying to interview for people, you know what they say? They want somebody who has a proven track record. You would think that
her track record
is enough. But she still has to fight. When she showed that, it let me know that, well, Joy, this is what you have to look forward to. And what I mean by that is, I think some of us hold an illusion. And that's exactly what it is. It's an illusion and a fantasy. That once we get to a certain level, people will stop questioning. People will stop challenging.
Absolutely
people will
not.
stop, but they won't.
No.
But what your job is to do is to continue moving forward.
Yeah.
As we say in New Jersey, irregardless.
Yeah.
You got to keep moving forward, even.
Unfortunately, the Black experience is always having to prove yourself worthy. Always. That doesn't stop.
It never stops.
It never stops. And when you make a race, I guess a conscious decision to, race to greatness and to rise. I say not race, but rise to greatness. When you make a conscious decision to rise to greatness, you have to understand that. You know, in business, I understood that a long time ago. That it's always going to be somebody that's going to question you and think that they know more than you and think that you don't know what you're talking about. And it's okay. You just, you answer that with proof. You know, you answer that with,
you just have to,
the work.
Yeah.
You literally, you answer that. And that's what I admire about her in general, and seeing that aspect of it. I told you it was like confirmation for me.
Yes.
Because as someone who's operated in, a leadership space as a Black woman, I deal with that shit all the time.
Yeah,
you know,
same.
And it's like, okay, you get frustrated. Eventually, it's like you just start to get over. You're like over it. Like, okay, what, you know? But to see that somebody at the level of Beyonce is still getting and dealing with those same things, it's like, okay, this shit don't stop.
It doesn't stop. And she helped me to. I'm not gonna lie. Her she kind of affirmed what I kind of got from Tyler Perry, which is this shit could take another 10 years for me. It could take 7 years. It could take 8. Like, you have to decide that you're just not going to stop. Yeah. Even when, and I'm going to tell you, the hardest thing for me has been, you know, when you're putting out good stuff and you feel like no one's paying attention. There are people who are paying attention, right? But because you're not getting the same numbers, likes, clicks, engagement as other people, you might think to yourself like it's not making an impact, but it is. Right. And I feel like that was what I got from her was the cost. She's paying the cost, and the cost is people calling her a white woman because she has a platinum wig, you know, a platinum weave. The cost is people talking reckless about her child or her children. The cost is people saying
comparing her to a white woman.
Comparing her to a white woman who clearly these white women try to be her. You know, the cost is in her own organization, in her own business, her having to keep
repeating the
same thing or asking for people. The cost is, you know, her, you know, not winning, you know, record of the year or album of the year when she has deserved those awards over other people. The cost is her Forbes headline basically, you know, pointing out a win, but knocking her lower than other people. This is the cost. But the impact that she makes on me, on you, on the world at large is worth every single penny she pays in that cost.
I need to get that the wording that it was the beginning of the movie when she like that first documentary part, and she basically was saying like, I'm getting to a place now where I don't give a fuck anymore. And literally these are her literal words. Like she's like, you know, you spend so much time like caring about all these little small things, and you know, but eventually you realize like motherfuckers gonna talk whether you doing good, whether you doing bad, whether you doing what they want you to do, whether you doing something different. They're gonna talk regardless. They're not gonna give you your flowers regardless. So that, I think, for us regular people, everyday life, that's how we need to operate in life, because that's literally what it is. You know, you never are going to be 100% pleasing to anybody in things you're never going to be that.
And honestly, the argument is if you are pleasing everybody, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And she just gives me this idea that, okay, it's time to just, you put your head down and you just work. And there are moments where you can sit back and you can like, you know, she called this her gratitude tour. Every night when she would come up there and them fans would go crazy, like, and she'd almost cry. It's like that you're doing it for that moment.
Right.
But you have to just keep your head down through it, and you have to keep working and keep marching forward, because if you stop marching forward, then there is no moment. And I think for me, you know, I realized everything that I've done this year. I started the podcast. I've got my music done. I'm releasing music, and, you know, I'm having hiccups here and there and working through things. And, you know, I'll put out a TikTok or something, or I'll put a tweet out or whatever. No, not a tweet, but like I'll put something on Instagram. You know, I'm doing 30 days of content. I'll get like 6 likes. I'm like, okay, well, you know, and the 6 likes are people I don't know. I'm like, all right, so it's 6 people who
6 likes, but how many views though?
Oh, I'm getting like, I think on my Boy Ivy page, I'm getting like 150 to 200 views, which is
what I'm saying is I'm saying the nuance and even the likes is, you know, you always gonna get less likes than the amount of views you get.
Of course,
you know
but I'm talking about engaged, because I'm trying to create fans. I'm trying to create a community. And for me, I'm just like, okay, well, I know why people stop doing it. And I remember you telling me this and you saying this to me. It's hard to get up on a live and there's only like 1 person in there or 2 people in there, and you still have to give like really good content. And like I DJ on Twitch, and like I'll be DJing for myself sometimes. And this is why people don't start because it's awkward and it feels shitty at first. But if you can push through the awkward and shitty feelings, realize that once you get the people, then there's other awkward and shitty feelings from other things that it's like a shifting, it just shifts. And you know, I'm definitely a spiritual person, so I'm always about give more attention to the positivity than you do the negative. But there's a reality here that maybe the awkwardness isn't that you don't have an audience. Maybe it's now you have an audience, but you know, your content isn't where you want it to be. So now it just keeps jumping and hopping and skipping and jumping and hopping and skipping. So, and Beyonce is showing us that, y'all, even at my level, when there's millions of dollars being made, I'm still experiencing discomfort and different ways in which that manifests itself. I love the way there's a moment in the movie, and y'all, spoiler alert, if you ain't seen it yet, we gonna put a spoiler alert in the comments so people know. There's a moment in the movie where her audio goes out. The dancers keep dancing, and she walks off stage because she can hear that her mic is not on. She goes in the back, and her wardrobe team they're sitting there discussing, I think that the MD is talking, and they're talking about where they want to start the song. And there's kind of a lot of crosstalk happening about what they're going to do. Right. And you can hear them say, audio's out. And they're like scurrying and everything. And while everybody's scurrying, she's in there with her wardrobe team, and they're like, wouldn't it be funny if you just went out there with a different outfit on? She's like, we have 3 minutes. Let's do it. And like, she was finding the fun in a really shitty moment.
Yeah, they was on TikTok going there. I remember that. I forget what city it was, but
you're in front of a lot of how many people were at those shows?
How many? What's the capacity of a football stadium?
Is it?
Because it was definitely capacity.
Is it 100,000? Look it up.
Let's see.
Because I feel like it's 100,000 or like 60.
What's the average capacity of a football stadium? All of the league's 30 stadiums have seating capacity of at least 60,000 spectators.
60,000.
A majority have 70,000, and 8 have been between 70 and 80, and 5 can see 80,000 or more.
So, depending on which stadium she's at, there's maybe 80,000 people, and in front of 80,000 people, your mic goes out.
Yeah, it was the whole audio though, like the entire audio.
All of the audio goes out. Yeah. And you still have the wherewithal, instead of you losing the moment and losing your shit and going off and being upset, you go in the back and you're talking to your wardrobe team and you're like, guys, wouldn't it be so funny if I changed? Like, let me change. Right. Because I come out in a different outfit and these people are going to go crazy. I just know myself. I know how I was when we did the release party and I couldn't get the audio together. And then you got there and one of my links wasn't working for the song. I almost lost my shit.
But you didn't.
I didn't. But what I'm saying is that heat, I could feel that heat rising on my ears. Like, I'm almost convinced that, I'm having a revelation right now. I'm almost convinced that who gets to the crazy level or not is also based on how you handle it. Because I know not everybody at that level handles it well. But those who keep ascending, it's because they keep being able to handle the next level. And when I say handle, I'm talking about emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Because the level that Beyonce is at, like, let's just talk about how many levels are between me and her as far as on the like scale of like stardom, right? I would put me at like a 0.5. I'm not even going to say a 0. I'll say a 0.5. I'm going to put her at 100. So there are 100 levels between us. Her audio goes out in front of 80,000 people. My link doesn't work for me to like, for people to buy my song. Right. So many levels between us, but both like things that could ruffle your feathers. My thought process is you're never going to get to level 100 if you can't handle mentally, emotionally, spiritually, your link not working. You can't get to level 2, 3, 4, 5 and ascend if you're still struggling with, oh, when my link doesn't work, it all crumbles and I feel shitty for 2 weeks. I'm just saying it's not sustainable. I mean, and I think that people who I think there's a difference between people who want to get to level 100 and people who just like fall into it. Like they just get, it's the circumstances. I think sometimes people are, I won't say victims, but sometimes, as we see in the music industry, victims of their own circumstances. So you never meant to be in the music industry anyway, but you could sing a little bit and, something happens. So the point I'm saying is, I'm talking about for those of us who are not chasing, but who are trying to get to a wider space of recognition, of doing, music, art, so on and so forth. I'm almost like, wow, is it contingent upon how I handle everything at this level? Because you have to have an incredible level of, she just was so calm and she was so cool. And she was worried about, okay, what can we do for the audience that will make this cool? I'm going to change my outfit.
Yeah.
Lots of revelations I had. Let's talk about My House. So
I haven't listened to it.
You haven't listened?
I mean, I heard it, but I haven't listened to it.
So we're in the theater, and during the credits, a song is playing, and it gets to a certain part. I start dancing, of course, because that booty gonna do what it want to. And Chelsea was like, let's go, but I was enjoying myself. So it's a song called My House, and it came out at midnight that night. So it's I love it because it's the dream is on the chorus. Who let them do that? That's the dream. Okay. Anyway, I love the song. Y'all have to go listen to it. It has kind of like a HBCU band feel, and then it has like a house music feel. It's awesome. So I was looking at the comments. I'm not going to tell you where I was looking at them, but
listen, I don't fuck with them. So if they hear this, that all publicity is good publicity. Fuck them over there. They are a hot mess. And we ain't sparing them. There's a lot of people who will spare, but not them. They don't spare nobody else, especially black folks. We ain't sparing them. Fuck them. I said, all my chest. No, don't take it out either. Shit. Talk about somebody ain't gonna say, no. You see in the shade rooms, toxic ass comments and toxic ass people. Yes, they're toxic over there. I don't see them doing not one positive thing with all that fucking platform and all them people.
Well, the Lola Brooke thing upset you, and so you're
I've been upset for a long time with them. Yes, that did upset me. We should have talked about that today.
The comment section of said media platform was basically like, I want 2013 Beyonce back. And I haven't really liked her stuff since Lemonade, and I didn't get this Renaissance album. I didn't get it. And like, I get it because I feel like the Renaissance album wasn't for cisgender heterosexual people. It was definitely a love letter to the LGBTQ community. And like, I feel like that was intentional. We know it was intentional. It was about Uncle Johnny, who made her dress. And I don't think she's even trying to make any exceptions for that. But there are obviously cisgender people who love the music, but for her, it was about the community. So there are people like, yeah, I want 2013 Beyonce back, and so on and so forth. And this is what I want to say about being an artist and evolving, and what I've kind of understood is like, the artists that have the longest careers, and there's a few that like stand out to me: Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, Stevie Wonder. The list really does go on, but there's only a few. There's a select few. Really there's a select few. Rihanna. There's a select few artists who understand how to keep evolving through the times.
Rihanna though.
Well, the only reason you would say that's because she hasn't made no music for the past 3 years. Right. But during her heyday, she was continuing to evolve. And I bet you when she come out with some music next, there's going to be an evolution. It's not going to be the same Rihanna. These artists who stick around for a long time is because they understand how to transcend space and time and keep doing something different. It's like, let me give an example. Here's the regular song form. Regular song form goes verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, we're out. That's what a regular song form is. And if we listen to most songs on the radio, that's what it's going to be. Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out. Now, the young kids, today's generation, chorus, verse, chorus,
done.
Chorus, done. No, for
Right.
real. The song is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Even when we talk about song form, Beyonce is bucking up against what a normal song form usually is. If you listen to every song on Renaissance, I don't think there's one that's like verse, chorus, verse. It's all just however she's feeling the song. So even this song, My House, when I listened to it, I was like, I don't know where we're at in the song, but going to my house, make love, you know, it's like she's doing whatever she wants. So even in the forward thinking of the way in which we construct the song, she's doing that. Right? So the point I'm trying to make is like evolution and trying new things and pushing your creativity to the next level is what keeps artists hot. Period. I'm not going to say no names, but there are artists who are her same age who are not able to be on the Billboard, who are not able to sell out a stadium tour, who are not able to go platinum, who are not able to be #1 on Spotify, who are not able to have viral songs on TikTok, Instagram, all social media. There are artists her same age who have the same level of, I would say, talent as she has, who we don't see them. And when we talk about, you know, Spotify Wrapped, they not in nobody's Spotify Wrapped, period. Even if the internet has kept their, you know, career somewhat viable, these people are not at the same level she's at in terms of just like music industry. Like if you're in the music industry and somebody says, do you want to come write on a Beyonce album? You already know you're going to make $1 million just from royalties and all that shit. So you're going to say yes. Even if you got to be over there for 2 weeks writing songs, you're going to go do it. There's other artists that are like, you want to write a song for such and such? You got to think about it. You're like, what's the upfront? Well, how much they're going to be paying me to be in the studio? With Beyonce, there's literally no thinking. She is still like a machine. You don't get to be a machine. This is the point I'm trying to make, and I'm going to leave it alone. You don't get to be a machine unless you continue to evolve. Y'all still like 2013 Beyonce, but the reason why she's still able to be on the Billboard charts and be #1 and still compete with Taylor Swift, who is 10 years younger than her, is because she's evolving and she's identifying new segments and new fans every single time she comes out with an album. There are people I know who were into Renaissance who weren't fans of hers before. Like I see kids on TikTok who are 20 years old who are like, I do not know any of these Beyonce songs. And they're talking about all the stuff before.
There was people at the concert that were sitting behind us. Go ahead.
Oh, in Vegas?
Yeah. In Vegas.
Them women.
Yeah. So there's a whole host of TikTokers when she was doing, like, you don't remember from the concert? Because she started out with songs that like Dangerously in Love.
Flaws and all old.
Flaws and all like deep Beehive cuts. Obviously they're still like hits, but Beehive cuts. These young kids don't know nothing about that. A lot of them was mad. They was like, why would you start? You know, I saw a lot of TikTok think pieces.
They were upset that she started it. They wanted her to start with the new stuff first.
The stuff they knew.
So look at this. She got a whole new generation of fans.
Literally. She's
that's going to pay her money for another 20 years.
Exactly.
Woo! It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, because that's what I was looking at, just her discography. So in 2014, she releases the self-titled album, and she has like Drunken Love and Mine and Superpower, 7-Eleven, Flawless with Nicki Minaj. All that stuff is on there.
That's one of my favorite albums.
And then we have Lemonade. Okay. We know what Lemonade was about. That was a shit starter. Like we was, you know, talking a lot of stuff. But if you go to Renaissance and you listen, if you actually listen to what she's saying, Beyonce ain't stopped talking shit. She been talking the same, like her, and this is why I know people really don't be fans of her. Because personally, why I like Beyonce is because you listen to what she's saying, and as a woman, I relate. From the, if you don't jump to put jeans on, baby, you don't feel my pain, all the way up to the, like, there's so many quotables off of Renaissance, like literal quotables of the woman experience. Beyonce, she ain't stopped talking her shit. So when people say, like, what you're saying, what you're saying people are saying, to me, it doesn't make sense. Because she's like, it's the same shit talking Beyonce that she been like. She got that jab regardless.
But also, somebody in the comments, you know, sometimes, you know, the comment sections are full of a lot of gold too. That's why I always read the comments. Somebody in the comments said, so y'all would prefer her to be hurt and upset, Beyonce, to empowered.
Right.
And I feel like it's true. Like Me, Myself, and I, and all of that is definitely her as a young girl dating a very famous rapper secretly. Nobody knows about it. And the songs are kind of have the tone of, what do I do? Where do I go? There was then a shift and a change as she got older.
That damn Lemonade, child.
Where it was like, I know what do I do and where do I go? Like, don't play yourself. I'm Beyonce. You're with me. So we see a shift in her power.
Call Becky with the good hair, nigga.
Like I feel like there was a shift in, like, I'm about to go somewhere with me and my baby. Like,
and then to now, she starts off the album saying, these motherfuckers ain't stopping me. Like, what more do you?
That girl.
Literally, like, she ain't stopped. It's for me. I agree with that too, because some of those songs. But even in that, like, she had her love songs and the little, you know, sappy sad songs, but she still had her, like, Beyonce been talking.
Yeah, she's a shit talker. She's
been talking
she's
that
from
shit.
Houston. Yeah.
And that the biggest part about this, even in the house music, she been talking that shit. Like, she's been talking that shit. So I don't understand what people are saying when they say it. Like, I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I think that people just don't want women to be empowered. That's just the whole thing. Like, you could not like it. Like, I'm okay with people not liking her music. I'm super okay with people, like, there's definitely music I don't like. But what I'm not going to do is try to discredit who somebody is. And people just, she ain't been, it is what it is. But
Alien Superstar, duh.
Alien Superstar, duh. Hear you sad little haters come out the woodwork. Bozo.
That is funny.
So yeah, My House, everybody check out My House. I really like the song. I was gonna spin it in my DJ set before it got messed up last night, but yeah, My House is great, and I aspire to continue evolving in the same way that Beyonce evolves. And I think that when you are a musician, which she is, you're always trying to find new sonic playgrounds to make new music in. And for me, that's dance and you know, doing dance and house music now. I feel like I have a palette, you know, of colors to play with that I've never had before, that I've maybe wanted to play around with, but they were outside of the rules of R&B or pop or whatever. Now being dance, I just feel like I can just fly. I can do whatever I want. They put out some numbers yesterday for the Recording Academy. I meant to tell you this. And they were, I think it's like 30% Black people. Like, they just put out their numbers for who is in the Academy. And do you know only 15% of Academy members are dance music folks. So we know what that means. But I saw that and I was like, it's such a like almost misunderstood genre. And I got some of that too from like the comments, like people don't get what she's trying to do. And for all intents and purposes, she's been doing dance music for the past, like this last album. And I realized that like Black people don't have a like, even though house music is ours, it started in Chicago with Black people.
Right.
I don't know how we got disconnected from it. I need to, maybe somebody knows, and maybe we can have
probably because it was ours, but then it was taken from us. You know, like many things.
Yep, that's facts. It's like I want to bring back dancing to.
You know, I seen a video, a TikTok. And I thought of you. It was this masculine presenting person, and they were dancing like how you be dancing.
Yeah.
And it was just like some music playing in the background, and the words said, "I just want to get back to a place where I can dance like this in the club and nobody look at me weird."
For real. Well, because clubs, the makeup, and you know, because you go out, the makeups now is couches,
sitting around looking at each other,
playing rap music,
right?
You know, and certain rap songs we going to turn up to, the women going to twerk to a certain, but no one dances anymore. And I feel like we went to a dance party earlier this year. I need to call that club and see if they need a DJ. But
at the rave,
it wasn't the rave. Was it the rave we went to?
Yeah.
Where they did the Beyonce versus Rihanna?
Yeah.
That was
the rave. No, you talking about over there on the east side. Yeah, you do need to call them.
I had a great time that night.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like they had an actual DJ in there. It looked like it was just
you need to.
It was like a playlist. But anyways, I want the world to get back to a place where we dance. And let me tell you what's going on in the DJ world. I've seen a couple posts from some of my favorite DJs, and they are telling their fans, don't come to my show and look at me as the DJ. I want you to turn around and dance with each other. Yeah. Because that's starting to become a thing too. Like DJs are now, people go and watch it like it's a show, as opposed to
enjoying it
and getting down.
Yeah, I think it's about setting the tone and like setting the atmosphere for dance. Because I know like that where we went, that place that we went to, and even when we went to see Alice at the rave as well, like if your entire existence as a DJ is interacting, people get up on your feet, let's dance, like if that's what it is, it'll be that. But I think, DJs that DJ in the club, they've kind of went with the trends. They want to make the money, so they DJ with the way that everything is kind of going. Now, don't get it twisted. There's a whole side of the world that still dances in the club. They just don't.
And that's
like
what
us.
I want.
Yeah. They just don't.
That's the side of the world I want to be on. Like, let's dance, and I want to invite more Black people to dance because it brings joy. It's like, when you go to church. And you shout. No, for real. And I mean, Black people have used the church as a way to. Black people have used the church for many years as a way to therapize, to get themselves, together. When they're feeling the weight of the world on their shoulders. Right. It's, to me, it's a privilege to have a safe space to get free. Yeah. And that to me is what DJing is and what dancing does. Right. You get to be in a safe space to get free of whatever's on your mind or whatever's going on. And that's what I want to facilitate in this next wave of my artistry, and the wave that I'm in now is let's get free. Let's get liberated. And honestly, I give Beyonce, I'm going to say, I'm going to give Beyonce 50% of the credit of inspiring me to like move over to dance. The other 50% is just by way of starting to DJ. Once I started DJing and I started to get into the DJ world and started to like understand a little bit more about like the way all of this works and just get more engrossed in the world, I was like, oh yeah, I need to start making dance music because I feel like it's super, there's something about it. It is, it's transformative. It transcends space time. It's an emotional experience. It's a spiritual experience. It's a mental experience. It's everything. And I want to be a part of that. And I'm not saying pop music doesn't do that. Of course it does. Right. But I just want to be a part of it. And as a queer person, it's more welcoming, you know? So I would say, you know, people, I remember talking to Kyle and Janine, and I was having this conversation. I was like, you know, it's Beyonce who inspired me to make this plunge and make this jump. You know, I was listening to Timbaland last night. So Timbaland has this thing where he like plays people's songs on his TikTok live. You pay $5. So first of all, he's making a bag. So in order for you to submit a song, you have to pay $5, and then he pulls you up on the live, and then once you go on the live, he plays.
I think somebody on my timeline.
Yes, so it's like I have a few people on my timeline too who he's played their music. If he likes your stuff, he follows you, and he'll tell you like, please send me more music. Like, let's keep talking about what we can do for you. And what I love about it most, I think it's funny that he makes so much money doing it, but I stayed on for an hour last night just listening to him give feedback. And there's a couple things that happened. There's about probably three things that happened. Number one, I was like, I love that he's just an OG and he's letting people know, because there's so many people on, music is so accessible, making music, creating music. It's so accessible to people now that everybody think that they got it. Right. Let me tell you how many people who he got on there and he said, this ain't it. And he said, you know it's not it. He said, you know it. You know it's not it. But he said, you got to keep working. You got to keep working. And he'll always say to them, come back. You know, he's like, we're going to do a whole segment called Spin the Block. This is what he was saying last night. We're going to do a Spin the Block segment where if I told you I don't like it and you don't pass, because he has a pass or a fail, and you don't pass, he's like, that's all right. You're going to come back and you're going to try again. And they have shirts that say like Aaliyah's quote, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again.
I'm done. This is on TikTok?
It's on TikTok. And he does it like, I don't know if he does it like 2 or 3 nights a week or whatever. And he'll be like, then if you got some really good stuff, he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna follow you. And he has his people like, I'm gonna follow you, like keep sending me music, like this is what you need to work on, whatever. But let me tell you, he's giving people feedback that I know it's hurting people's feelings, but
$1 million feedback. Literally.
This one girl got on there, he was like, you sound like Michelle in the 90s.
It's not funny.
But honey, but what he was saying was true. Like the music was very like,
she was singing.
It's a singer, and her music literally sounded like.
Oh, so it's not just like producers. It's like anything.
It's anything.
Oh, let's send Justin.
I want to do it, but I can't do it yet until I go live. Until I can go live. Yeah. Okay. So he's like, that's why I was like, I wanted to send my stuff last night, but I realized I couldn't send it. But he was like, he was like, okay, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like before he goes in on you, he wants to know a little bit about your story.
I like that though. I like that. It's because you know who does this, and I don't like how they do it. James Fortune and Isaac Curry, they do something like this too, where. It's like, I don't know if you pay, but they do like these lives, and I've had a lot of my singer friends that have gone on there and they can sing. So like Kateri was on there, Soraya was on there. There's a couple people that went on, Brian went on there. Okay. And you know, if you could sing, you could sing. Yeah. But then it'd be people that can't sing and they be like cracking jokes and stuff. And it's just like, I mean, it's granted, we've all been in church or I've been on the choir stand many times and some funny shit happened and we cracking up. Like, I'm the type of person, you don't want to sit next to me in church because we're going to laugh. Like, right. That's just what it is. But when you have a platform, I like you have to come from a good hearted place, and if you can't do that, that's right, then you don't need to be doing it. Right. Like, and that's even like with why I never really like how Simon Cowell was on American Idol. He's different on America's Got Talent, but on American Idol, it's like you're choosing to judge. Why? And even like the woman who judged me for The Voice, I was telling Asia about this yesterday when she did my nails. Like, you're choosing to be a judge for something, knowing that you have the power to either pass or fail someone in this, and this is something that they've been working on. Why is it? Who gave you the right to shoot them down completely? Like you can,
and you break people's spirit.
Yeah, and because there's a way to
yes,
let some. So I love that you're telling me that he is, doing it in a way that would not send somebody running for the rabbit.
No,
but
he
it'll
tells
make
them what they need to do. Like that girl, when he told her, she sounded like that. He was like, you know what you need to do? He was like, who do you work with and do music? And she was like, it's just me. He was like, that's the problem. He's like, you need to get a team around you. He's like, you need to get some other singers that you work with, because that'll teach you kind of more modern, a more modern way of singing. He's like, I just feel like you sound like it's dated and it's old. And he's like, you can sing. He's like, you can sing, but it's not, he's like, it's coming across as dated. Yeah. And every single person that was on there, he'd be like, keep trying. I want you to keep trying, though.
And that's honestly not bad feedback, especially if she can sing. It's like, okay, you can sing, but the sound is not what's needed. And you know what? I agree.
There was a few people who got up there. He was like, I'm gonna follow you right now, and I agreed with him. I was like, this is some good stuff. Like, he knows how to like get the good people.
Yeah, he's Timbaland.
But he's also. But here's the thing. He'll also say to the good people, he'll be like, but you need to keep working. He's like, this song, he's like, I don't know who you worked on the production. Like, he'll go through every little thing. He'd be like, you can sing, but you this. But it was really refreshing, because again, the internet is so hyped, and just people be hyping it. You showed me somebody who cannot sing, and there's people in their comments like, ooh, your no choice. And
and Monty be sending me him just trying to be funny. I'm like, girl, don't send me no more of his damn videos.
You sent it to me. I looked through like 5 videos, and there's people on there like hyping him up. I don't understand it. There's a level of excellence that you just have to have it. I'm happy that Timbaland at his level is really letting people know you can't So anyway, I was sitting there like listening to that, and I felt super confident. Like, I was like, if I play him my stuff, just the quality level, he's gonna be like whatever. But it helped me to kind of just see like, there's so much room out here for good music, because there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of trash.
90% of the stuff that's coming out is bullshit.
There's so much trash.
Literal.
And I don't know who I'm here to inspire today, but if you really have a gift or a talent for something, don't fold. Stand up. Get up, girl. Girl, get up. Please keep going, because there's so much trash out here, and the cream is always gonna rise to the top. I don't care what nobody say. You are always going to stand out amongst everybody else if you keep pushing forward. And what happens is people who really have a talent, they get discouraged. But you can't get discouraged, y'all, because people are gonna say, people say, that's what sells nowadays is fake stuff and BBLs and this, that, and the third. It's like, there's still a part of the music industry that don't want to hear it if it's crap. And then you start to realize that some of the people in the music industry who we be like, nah, it's okay. There's such a gap between them and people who really can't do it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there were people who were getting up there and they literally sound like they're trying to imitate Future or Drake and trying to imitate, every single artist we have. And you listen to them and you go, this is trash. And you start to, you go, wow, Future really do got a talent. Because do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. You start comparing the people who try to imitate it, and you like, wow, we're so used to it. We just think, oh, it's just Future. But it's like, Future is executing at a very high level, because other people who try to do that, it doesn't work. There was a dude who got on there, and it was literally like the same flow from this song. You love this Future song. It's like, oh way. Oh,
Wicked, the one that's viral right now.
There was somebody who like tried to like imitate that in a song. Like, I literally wrote in the comments, I was like, why don't you just do a cover of a Future song? Because it literally is like, they tried to the whole flow is just copied, and it was trash. So I said all that to say, hey, if you in the music industry and you're like, oh, I don't, and these kids, I felt old. It was a lot of 27, 29,
that's
25.
The thing too. Like, it's you in the space that you're in, you will feel.
I feel old.
You will feel, and it's okay though, because there's still a lot of, that's the difference between like producers and DJs versus like R&B singers. Like, I go shit, all the people on the R&B Live roster, we all the same age. You know what I'm saying? But if you were to be in a room full of producers, you probably would be the oldest one. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
It just makes me seasoned. That means
But you're also talented. You're also good. You're also experienced. Like, let's not get it twisted.
Nobody there. Like, he was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "Dang, if he asked me that, it's gonna be like 37." Yeah, but I mean, it's okay. Like, I don't feel old. I still have a youthful spirit. Yeah. But also,
to me, 37 says wisdom. It says experience. It says you know, maturity. Like, there's a lot about that somebody may just want to work with you just because the fact that you closer to their age than all these little young ass kids are.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I got a little stability with me, you know what I mean? So I was on there for like 2 hours. It was cool. I think he does it every Friday. But I love that there's people that he still has a relationship with. He was like, yeah, this, you know, he don't pull no stops, but he remembers people. He's like, okay. He's like, did I listen to you a few months ago? I think it's a great way for somebody who's like an elder in the music industry to spend their time. Yeah, I think that's an awesome way.
And the thing about it is, if a type of talent comes across that really is, you know, let's not get it twisted. He doing that for a reason too, you know.
Of course.
Not only to make money, but it's like, there is like the next big thing is out there, and if you come across it, it's a bag for you. I mean, hey, you're Timbaland. Yes. Like, come on now.
He's so funny. He was like, "Y'all, don't this song sound like a good song for Fortnite?" He's like, he's very.
Does he have kids?
You know, I don't know. But what I would tell you is that man is tuned in and tapped into all the new things that are going on.
Gotta be.
He has to be, because he heard a song and he was like, hey, this song would do great for Instagram Reel, but I don't know if the people going to stream it. It's not a long enough song and it's not a good enough song. And the boy was like, yeah, I got 400,000 views on the Reel. He's like, what'd I just say? It's a great reel for music for a Reel, but it's not a good song. He was like, how many streams do you got? He's like, 25,000. He was like, see? He was like, people not messing with it as much as they going to stream it on the Reel. So he's very connected in that way. So I think I'm going to just start watching that every Friday until I get my 1,000 followers and I can go up there. But it was like, I was really like,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was great. I feel like we should still do soft spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys in the next segment. Honey. I love you so much. How are you?
I'm good. Doesn't sound very convincing, huh? I am okay. I'm all right. It is the end of the year. So I'm there's two sides to my coin. On one side, on one side, there is the ambitious, go-getter, motivated, never gonna stop grinder who is not focused on the emotion and just going. That's one side of the coin. So that part of me is fine. I done got a new little motivation under me and got some things I'm working on. I'm doing some things and just focused. But then there's the other side, the human side of me that is tired. I'm just exhausted. I'm in a constant everyday battle with my mind of just making sure that I am not burning out and making sure that I'm being realistic and making sure I'm getting proper rest and making sure that I'm giving myself the space to feel my feelings. And so, yeah, my mind, there's a whole bunch going on up there.
I want you to get more rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I ain't gonna tell your business, but you haven't got a lot of rest this week. And, you know, when you're on your trip, I want you to go to bed at a decent hour every night.
I will.
Yeah. It's been a lot of late nights and early mornings for you lately. And
grind.
Boy, you know I grind when I believe just in your mind. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm proud of you. I'm watching you push through. I am concerned. The only thing I'm concerned about is your physical well-being. Like you're mentally fine. Obviously, you're doing all the things, but like,
shit, it's the mental you need to be concerned about. Physically, I'm good. Physically, it's the other way around.
It's the mental.
Yeah, I mean that's been the issue, you know, for years and years. Physically has never been the problem. It's the emotional part of it that I realized was messed up, you know.
I understand.
It's sad. I get so sad because I realize like I cannot operate in chaos anymore. And it sucks because entrepreneurship is kind of chaotic, you know, so it scares me because I'm like, okay, am I like, is this at a deficit to my growth? Like it's kind of scary, but I am just trying to figure out the tools that I need to not have to be able to be operating in chaos, but still getting things done. So just for it to be less chaotic. So I'm using planners and I'm, you know, using to-do lists, weekly to-do lists, daily to-do lists. I'm writing everything down and I'm checking in with myself every morning. Like it's so much work that goes into it now, but that's what I have to do. Like I'm planning everything out. Like I've always been a planner, but a lot of times, like for all up until this year, I would not have to write stuff down. And it would all get done. And that's crazy. And I realized the amount of pressure and stress I was putting on my brain without even knowing it. But that I wouldn't have to write stuff down. I would not forget anything. How many times have I ever forgot anything?
You don't really forget.
Exactly. So but now, if I don't write it down, if it's not on my, like I have forgot sessions. I have forgot all type of stuff. So it scares me. Like it scares me because I've been able to operate at such a high level, high octane. And I can't do it anymore because of just the mental stress that I've been under. So I'm just continuing to encourage myself to just keep writing stuff. I wake up in the morning. It's a routine. Get my to-do list. You know, I go to I have a weekly to-do list. And then from that weekly to-do list every day, I'm getting a daily to-do list so that I can make sure that things are getting done properly. So after we get done here, I'm going to plan out my week of content and all that stuff for next week and just my to-do and what I have to get done so that I'm being productive. So when I get back, I can, you know, spend that 15 days just getting everything necessary done before we go out of town for the holiday and go into the new year with the sound mind and, you know, relaxing. But that's where I'm at. It's tough. It's kind of, I can imagine this may be how like an old person may feel. They spent their whole life doing everything for themselves and then they can't do anything anymore. Like that's how I feel. Like it feels like capacitating. Is that a word?
Incapacitated. It's like your capacity to do things is shrinking.
Yes.
Is that? Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
It feels like that's what it feels like. I feel like I'm like, or even like a handicap. Like that's what it feels like.
I understand.
Like it kind of sucks. So yeah.
I mean, stress will do that.
I see.
Sleep deprivation will do that.
I see. I wish somebody would tell me.
Yeah. Well, you know, like you tell me, you create systems to lessen the load for yourself. You're already engaged in that work, so we don't have to talk about it. But
yeah,
you know, I'm happy that that's where you're at with it.
How are you?
Let me finish. I want you to take care of yourself. I'm going to always take care of you, but I want you to take care of you a little more.
I am. I'm taking care of myself. I mean, right now, I'm in the space where I'm just some harsh realizations, you know? So I'm just doing what's necessary to go into 2024, not having to keep like sulking about the same thing. Like I know what it is now.
Shift that energy.
Yeah. So I have to do what's necessary so I can perform and I can get things done.
And
so
we're heading into. I just saw some stuff. You know, I work for a bank now, so I read the tea leaves. But like we're heading into a recession. There's just a lot going on. So it's not like I always be trying to explain this to you. Like some of the business things you're going through is not you. It's
right. No.
You know,
and I think it was very little time of me feeling like it was me, and then I realized it's just the economy. So okay, it's time to shift gears. You know, but I'm realizing that because of how much time I put in, because of all the work that I put in, and all the experience I've had, I don't have to just focus on one. Like I can create, I can service a need for other people in many different spaces. And that's where I'm at with it now. You know, I'm just, you know, we already talked about it, but you know, I'm just, I'm harsh realizations, but figuring it out. I'm thankful to be able to, you know, have and experience these different things. Like, but this is work too, you know, so I get overwhelmed with that. Last time I went on the fam trip, I got overwhelmed with the content, and so I'm like, okay, I need to figure out a way to not be overwhelmed with the content, because that creates just as much anxiety for me, I realize. So yeah.
Okay, well, I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
You know that.
Yeah. How are you?
How am I?
How are you, Pookie Butt? Pooka Dooker, Duty Boot, Boot Boot, Baby Cakes, Love of My Life.
I'm accepting. You're so cute. I'm accepting the workload of all that I have committed to doing for this year. I had to put my staff on a pause for the next 2 months so that I could recover financially from just like everything that's been going on the past. You know, releasing Bittersweet was like a pretty heavy lift financially because it was the first single. There was like a lot of things that we had to do, like pre-promotion, like the photo shoot that I did. Like there was a lot of different things, and I have like 4 people on staff, and I just got to a point where like my credit cards were getting a little out of control, and like I just need to rein it in. And this, you know, this is any business is going to have some startup costs, but the music industry, it can make you honestly feel like you're throwing money into a pit because you're not going to get that return right away. And so we have our Christmas stuff coming up, and you know, behind the scenes with our place in Noonan, we've had some like up and down with the bookings and different things going on that have affected, you know, us financially, but definitely me for sure. And I just had to like put a pause on my staff, which made me feel really sad because they do really good work. But I will say most everybody was very understanding because they know what it is. But my co-producer Frankie, he's you know, I had him redo some music for me that was supposed to be released like now, like the song was supposed to come out next month. And so I had to kind of make an agreement with them because, you know, I believe that people should be paid for the work that they do. And it's never my intention to try to cheat anybody or undervalue people. And so me and him just had a like straight up conversation. He was like, all right, look, this is how you can help me out. You know what I'm saying? So we made an agreement. We came to an agreement, but it's a financial, there is, as much as this is a creative work for me, it's a financial work, but also it's a technical work of setting the podcast up, so like all these things I'm doing are all intertwined. The podcast, streaming my DJ sets. I had a DJ gig this week that went well, and you know, very thankful for the family over at IC Stars. It was awesome. It's fun. But you know, there's the setup time and there's like all of that part. I don't have people. So my brain just gets very overloaded because of the amount of little things that I need to remember in order for everything to work correctly. And it can just be overwhelming. But I'm just proud of myself. I said I was going to start my podcast this year. Here we are at 28 episodes. I said I was going to put music out. I put music out. I have my next single is coming out on the day after my birthday. So on February 29th. So we have, I have executed this year. I didn't just talk about it. I was about it. Yeah. And you got to get the kinks out. So how do I feel right now today? I'm okay. My day job, I'm a leader at my day job, and it's leadership shit that I go through. And that's it. Like every week there's another, like, all right, gotta lead this meeting. I gotta, so, I'm thankful though. I'm thankful for my job. And I'm, people from my old job were seeing me this week being like, you look so happy. It was like, yeah, I am. It's a different, it's a different, I will say it's different work that I have to do, but it's, doesn't hurt when you have unlimited PTO and
right.
and when you make a good salary and you have, my job, my every day, 8:30 to 4:30. At 4:30, I sign out, and that's widely accepted.
Right.
Fridays on my job, most everybody doesn't really do too many meetings on Fridays. Like that, this is the culture at my workplace. Right. So what I need to do is bless God in the sanctuary for that. I'm very thankful. It's a very, equitable situation.
Yeah.
The hard part is just what it requires of me as an individual. But I will say, my boss gave me some really nice feedback. I don't know if I told you about this, but we did my performance. It's not my performance review. It's like a performance conversation. And I was basically telling her the things that I want to work on. And she was like, okay, I agree with those things. She was like, but let me tell you all the things that you did really well. And she gave me a list of 3 or 4 things, like situational awareness and collaboration and leadership. There were some things that she was like, these are the things that you're doing really well. So
that's good.
I was really excited about that. It kind of made my heart you got to acknowledge how you are doing well,
Yeah, for sure.
So other than that, next week I'm gonna just be bunned up in the house, watching TV with my dog, and I love that. I don't like being without you.
Oh no.
But I do like a little bit of silence, and I do like to heal myself and be by myself. That's one of my favorite things in the world.
Well, we got a standing FaceTime day every day.
Yeah, every day we'll FaceTime and talk when I get off work, and I'm looking forward to that because you're my favorite girl. Wow. But other than that, I feel
good.
I knew that I would. I feel good. Okay. So
good. So good. I got you.
Boom, 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 boom.
I chose a weird key.
You did. But you never choose a weird key, so you get one. It's me normally.
I chose the key that you were talking in.
That's crazy. You do have relative pitch.
Yeah, that's why I chose that key.
Yeah.
It was the key you was talking in. Because you was able to just slide right into it.
Yeah. I like that about you.
Yeah.
Where I can train you for it to be perfect pitch if you want that. Do you want it?
I don't know what I want musically. I was thinking about that the other day.
I was talking to you about that because I feel like I've kind of decided what's up with me. What do you want?
I mean, it's too much talent to let go to waste.
That's facts. I mean, we can start getting your stuff together.
I just don't want to spend no money on the shit.
It's gonna cost money.
I know. You can spend it. Shit. We should talk about this because I do want to create.
Okay.
For
but
sure.
You just don't want to spend time on it.
No, it's not even time. I don't want to invest no money in no shit that ain't gonna make me no money back.
Well, honey,
I know it's just how, but it's the business person in me. I hate it, but it's not a hard thing to get over. I just, for me, I guess it would be more so about well, okay, great. How can I make money from it? And since we're in Milwaukee, I definitely could go on a show tour and be making money right here in the city with my own music.
Yeah, we have
sure.
I have a track for you that you asked me for. I have a track. I haven't written it yet, but you can have it. It was supposed to be for me, and you said I want this, and I was like, you can have it. We
never released the song that we had. What's his name? Vocal produce.
That's a really good song.
Yeah, he vocal produced the shit out of that song.
It's a really good song.
I'm trying to rap on the track. What's good? Come on.
You not about to.
What? I'm trying to rap. I'm trying to talk my shit.
Okay.
I got a lot of shit to talk. I'm serious.
Honey, well, I mean, let's get through. I think in my mind, the plan is let's just release all the Boy Ivy songs and then we're going to get through
you first.
No, but I'm saying let's get all the Boy Ivy songs out and then like while I'm not, I can, because I write and produce your stuff, so I can like write and produce.
I can write
a few things. You can write.
No, I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying like I can take on something.
Do you want to like get in the studio and like have like a writing session or something?
Yeah, you know what will be the most beautiful writing session ever? Me, you, and Ike.
I would love that. I respect him highly, and I think Ike is an incredible creative and songwriter, and I love his voice as well. So yeah, I'd love that.
We should do that. 2024, we could do that.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I mean,
give me a nice little bop with a rap.
So you already have 2 songs ready to go.
I want a rap vocal on it. That's what I want.
Let's talk about the rap vocal. But you already have 2 songs. You say it
like it's not in like I can't. You don't think I can execute that?
I don't know if I think that you could execute it. I don't know that I like it on your voice. Okay, guys, let me just let everybody who's listening know that you are now hearing a conversation between a producer and their artist. That's what you're hearing.
Yeah, because it's definitely different than spouse and wife. Let me tell you.
It's a different vibe. I just don't know that
my producer don't be letting me do nothing I want to do in the studio.
That's not true. Don't let these people, y'all. This is not that.
I mean, when I hear Beyonce say "ass getting thick,"
that's different than
that's what I'm saying. Okay. I want to do like a little, you
want to do that? Okay.
I want to get like a little,
some sexy or something.
Yeah. Okay. I ain't trying to be like, "Hey, yo, baby," no, that's not what I'm talking about. Rap. I'm saying like I want to put a hip hop vocal on my shit.
We could. This is something we could talk about.
I know.
But you keep ignoring what I'm saying. You already have 2 songs ready to go.
How'd that one go?
So you have Anticipation.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember Anticipation. I'm talking about the other one.
The other one.
Don't tell the people.
Oh, yeah. There's another one that I still have to write, but we have the track.
How'd the track go?
I don't know, but she was like, "Yeah, I want to get on this and rap, baby. I love you."
See, I want to rap it. See, it's destined. It's destined to be.
It's not.
That's crazy.
But you have a track that I have to write. You have a track that I have to write.
Production is tough on me, man.
I have to write it, but I'll write it.
Y'all see this? You see how production doing me? You see how
it's not just production. I'm the whole this girl really do get to just come in the studio and just like sing. And I think that's good for you. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I think it's good for you, but you gotta work. You have to work with me, honey. She's so spoiled, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This girl is very spoiled. You come in the studio, honey, and you just sing.
Right, but my studio sessions are one of a kind.
They are, because you're so talented and we have such a good time. But
one and done on that hoe.
There's a whole thing. All I'm saying, honey babe, is there's other things you don't have to.
You see, y'all see this?
There's a whole lot of things that you don't have to worry about, is what I'm saying.
You can make me worry about them. I can worry.
You're not going to want to, honey.
Y'all see this?
It's nothing.
I want my hip hop.
We can okay. So you want me to source 2 more? How many songs do you want to release?
I want to release a trap song.
Do y'all see what I'm saying? I'm trying to have like a actual conversation about like strategy, and she's just throwing all these ideas.
I'm serious. Like,
that's fine. How many songs do you want to release?
4.
That's good.
Or 5. 4 or 5. Well, you give me a voice. You asking me, so I'm telling you, I want a trap song, okay, and I want an Afrobeat song.
Okay.
I want everything.
Okay.
Shit, we might be able to speak Spanish on that hoe. I'm trying to reach y'all.
This is what I'm telling y'all I have to deal with. Like, this is part of the problem. She's spoiled. She comes into the meetings with all of these just crazy ideas. It's fine, honey. It's fine. You're going to get 4.
Okay.
4. We'll decide what's best. You'll decide. It's your artistry. You'll decide what's best, but we're not. Nobody's doing no reggaeton.
I can't do an Afrobeat song.
You could do Afrobeats.
Oh,
but it's like gonna be Afrobeats inspired, like R&B Afrobeats inspired. Like, we're not gonna have you do Water.
That's somebody's song already.
I'm talking about the vibe.
Of course, we're not gonna have me do Water.
I'm talking about the vibe of Water.
That's a good song.
It's a great song, but it's...
And she's singing her ass off.
She is singing. I love the vocal. But I'm saying, like, it's more going to be R&B inspired, Afrobeats inspired R&B.
All right, I'm happy to hear what you're talking about.
Yeah, let me produce it. So yeah, because now I'm done producing all my stuff, so I can focus on yours. If this is what you want, but this is the thing is, you decide you don't want to spend no money and things like that. So it's okay. We'll talk about it. Chelsea likes making money, and the music industry is not a
like
make
that coin,
money. You know, as far as return on investment in the music industry, the investment comes later. So for her, when we start to talking about all the things that need to be invested in, like I'm doing for Boy Ivy to really get her out there, she doesn't want to do that. So this is part of the real tough conversation.
And it ain't I don't want to do it because I've done it before, and it pisses me off. So that's, you know,
this is part of the tough conversation, you guys, that artists have to decide. Because for me, it's like, if we're gonna do it, we have to do it full out. You got to go get a photo shoot. You got to and you're like, you don't want that.
No, it ain't that I don't want it. I'm just want to pay for it. Need a sponsor. Give me an advance.
I found myself a sponsor.
Give me an advance.
No,
Damn,
you already got an advance.
When?
The advance of marriage.
I need to call a meeting with HR so I can get me an advance.
The advance of you got a marriage out of it.
You got a marriage out of it. Fun times. This is cute.
Oh, this is cute. Okay, well, guys, y'all got a
little treat there in the beginning and the end of this episode.
you got a couples therapy session, and you got a producer and their artist having a meeting. So I hope you enjoyed that.
Eyes.
This was an interesting episode.
Get what I want, y'all. Y'all gonna see.
This is the problem. This is the problem.
It ain't a problem. What's the problem with it?
You do get what you want, but ultimately we have to be realistic and we have to make the right decisions.
You're right, honey. I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
You know, this be the first time we worked together as producer and artist as a married couple. We weren't married last time.
We were not married. It's different.
Yeah.
Well,
so I really get what I want now.
See, y'all.
You're
using that.
Before it was, you know, because we was dating, but we was like barely dating. It was fresh. I was still living here. It was fresh, so I couldn't really I didn't have any power or anything.
This is crazy.
Now, I really get what I want.
Why? Because you're just gonna complain until I give it.
No, I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna show you why I should get it. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not difficult.
She's just a spoiled artist, y'all. This girl, you was getting what you wanted when we weren't dating. Your deal, the way I structured your deal is crazy.
It's not crazy. It's fair, and more people should do that.
It is fair.
It's fair. It ain't
but
crazy.
I'm not gonna. All right, y'all. This.
God is
so
good.
Chelsea, we're gonna be working on some music. I'm fine to work on music. I have no problem with it. It's just you have to be ready for the financial obligation.
All right. Well, I know my financial situation about to shift in 2024, baby. So I'm gonna have all the money to do everything I need to do.
Okay. Yeah.
Manifest that.
Manifest. Your family here at Elevate the Conversation wants you to keep creating, keep evolving,
keep rocking them hips and wave and swip.
No, I don't.
I like the way she rock her hips.
Oh,
you don't remember?
Oh yeah. Keep doing your thing. Keep trying. Remember that if they're giving Beyonce a hard time at her level, they damn sure gonna give you a hard time. But it's not about not getting the hard time. It's about you continuing through getting the hard time. You are capable. You are loved. You are cherished. You are respected.
You the shit.
You the shit, and you deserve all that you're going to go get for yourself. So your family here at Elevate the Conversation really, really, really believes that for you. And we're believing that in 2024, it's your year. You're going to go get all the things that was stolen from you. We love you. We appreciate you for listening. And thanks for listening. If you made it to this point, if you're watching, you made it to this point, that's awesome.
Watching?
We're on YouTube now, honey.
Oh, yeah. Hey, YouTube.
All right, y'all. Peace.